There's something about her, something about her. She don't need it, you can hold the bronzer.
Cool. Sweet. Okay. Hi.
Hey.
We're back
Yes.
again. I need to stop saying that. Or maybe that'll just be like how we
We start our
just
thing. You
always
know, like
say
how they always
we're
have,
back.
like, I feel like every, like, well, podcasts that are promoted by something, they always have, like, that little, like, beginning thing.
Yeah.
Since we don't have that yet, maybe that'll be our little,
We're back.
we're back.
Yes. Yeah. So, how's your week going?
Good. I just, you know, I did my first iftar dinner party yesterday.
Nice.
So that was, I get like stressed out. Like this is me with everything though. I think I just like want everything to be particular. And so I just get a little bit more stressed out about things, but I was trying not to do that yesterday. But yeah, so that was fun. It was just tiring though. Kind of tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I know we were going to talk about Ramadan, but before we do, I have to tell you a story, and I need to know, am I the asshole?
Okay.
So this just happened yesterday, and I feel like you're a good gauge of whether I'm an asshole or not. So backstory, I got my nails done. I do my nails often, and I always get dip, and I always go to this place that's like 10 minutes away from my house. I go there so much that I have the owner's number saved, so I just text him. And they're like a pretty like small place, so they don't have like a book, right, where like if you make an appointment they like take out their book and they write it down. It's all in his head. So like even for your wedding, when I got my nails done, I had told him like 2 weeks in advance, like, well, I'm gonna come in 2 weeks to do like the fancy acrylic thing. And he was like, okay, cool. And then like 2 days before, I was like, hey, just confirming my appointment. And he was like, oh, haha, I forgot. But yeah. And so that's how it is, right? So usually when I text the day of, and I just say, hey, can I come at 5 or can I come at 6? And he'll say like, yes, or he'll say, no, tomorrow's better. And I'll say, okay. And then he'll go and bring cash. And I'm like, okay, because they always want cash. So on Friday, so that was 2 days ago, I texted him and I said, hey, can I come tomorrow? So for Saturday at 10 a.m. And he says, no, come at 10:30. And I said, okay. So I get there at 10:30 and I get in and he's not, I don't see him. He's probably in the back somewhere, but like none of his other like employees like turn to say hi or like welcome or anything. But okay, I'm like, fine. I don't need a welcome, whatever. So I kind of like still stand around because I don't want to sit down on the waiting chairs because then I feel like no one can see me because I'm like lower. So I'm still standing and he finally walks out like a couple minutes later and he's like, oh, dip, right? And I was like, yeah, dip. And he's like, okay, just have a seat. And I was like, okay. So now he knows I'm there. And so I sit down and like 10 minutes go by and he brings me over the like colors to look at. So I'm like looking at the colors, pick my color, I'm done because it's not a long color. I always go for light pink. And then 10 minutes goes by even more. And since I do dip, I know there's only 2 people that do dip. And the other lady that does dip stopped her. She finished her other manicure and she walked over to another girl who was sitting there and started working on her. So I was like, okay. So she's just got busy. I know she's going to be busy for a while. Right. He doesn't look like he's done anytime soon. And
so it's definitely going to be way over the time of...
Yeah. So now it's like closer to 25 minutes and I'm like irritated because I made the effort to make an appointment, you know, and I come here all the time and I always like tip pretty well. And I bring cash. I make the effort to go to Albertsons to pull out cash, you know, all because like you don't want to report it on your taxes. And so finally at like the 30-minute mark, I was like, I can't stay. And I had another appointment at 12:30 that day. So like there was no way I'd be able to like do an hour of nails and then drive over to my next appointment. So like I get up, I put the nail stuff, the colors down on the table and I was like, it's fine. Like I'll just come back another time. because I don't have it in me to be like, what is this service, and like demand it. And so like I walk out and like I'm getting in my car and he follows me out and he's like, I'm so sorry, give me 10 more minutes. And I was like, in my head, I was like already like fuming because I was like, this is like not okay to me. And I was like, no, I have another appointment at 12:30. Like, this is going to be 40 minutes of a wait. Like, I'm not staying. And he's like, okay, but you'll come back later. And I said, I'll see. Because I was like, I don't know. Maybe I won't.
Yeah.
So yeah, am I the asshole? Should I have waited another 10 minutes? Do you think a 30-minute wait is not that bad?
So this is like actually the reason why I stopped going to a place was because they were like that with their like appointments, and I just don't have that time. Like, you can't do it. Like, the place I go to now is very structured. Like, they have like a front desk. They like are very good with their appointment. They'll send you reminders about your appointments. Like, you actually have to be there. Like, they're very specific about when you get there too. Like, if you're like, I think they have like a 5 or 10 minute grace period because of like how booked they are and stuff, and so they're very like good, and I like that though because I'm like that. And the place I used to go to was exactly like that. You would call them and it's like, I don't even know if they were writing it down or if it was in their head, and then you show up and it's like you didn't even have an appointment anyways.
But then
like,
they don't
why
like
did
it.
I even call?
Yeah, they don't like it if you do show up and you didn't make an appointment.
Yeah, but then it's like when I did show up, it would pretty much be like I didn't have one because I would still have to wait a little before they would take me, or it was like depending on the day and like how busy they were, and I'm like, so then why did I make the effort to call? Because that's so stupid. So I honestly don't think so, just because I feel like at this point, like, especially like I said, like, they know who you are, like, you're not like some random, and even regardless, like, that's business, like, someone's giving you money, so it's like I feel like to build your business, like, you should, and especially like, again, for people that are like regulars, that they would, but I don't know, like, I just feel like, and I know with like nail stuff, I guess it's like hard when they're like more like mom and pop shops, I guess, but like, cause like maybe like they're not as structured with like who's gonna work that day, like maybe it's like whoever shows up that day sort of thing, cause like we don't really know like the back end of it, so it's like maybe it is like a little bit more like hard for them to really like do things as they would, but I don't know, like I just feel like, I mean, again, like I had the same experience as you somewhere else, and that's why I stopped going.
Did you also walk out?
There were many times I walked out because I'd like walk in and like I would just be like, this is ridiculous, and I would walk out. Like I just, because again, like just the way that like life is now, it's like we're all very busy. So like to sit around for like 30 minutes when you already said you were going to come in at a certain time, like that's valuable time that you could be doing something else. You know?
And like I've had the experience where like even if I gave an appointment like a week or 2 weeks early, like you're not writing it down, you're not like taking it seriously. Like that's why I text you the day of or the day before, because that's how you roll.
Right. And then if he told you it was fine,
he even pushed it to 10:30, and I was like, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, that relaxes me because like I hate
being that person.
I felt really guilty leaving too, because like he followed me out, like I'm sorry, but
that's happened to me before too, where someone's followed me out and I was just kind of like, but I don't remember where it was.
Oh, he texted me last night too.
Yeah,
because it was during the day, and he texted me like later at like 7:00 at night, and he was like, so sorry again.
Wait, but you did end up getting your nails done, so did
I went somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
After my 12:30 appointment. So I went later on in the afternoon, and I went with Raul's mom somewhere, and like I told her, like I don't mind waiting wherever we go because I don't have an appointment.
Yeah.
And like I don't have anything for like 3 hours right now. Like I can wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, he texted me at like 7:30 last night and was just like, we're open tomorrow for Easter, like come in, we'll give you a discount. But like to me it's not about like the discount, because whether or not like I get a discount, I still feel like I need to like tip the like person who's doing it like nicely, because I overheard once that one of the employees there said she makes like $5 to $10 an hour.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, that's when I feel like I definitely want to tip.
Damn, this place really is like...
It's like super small.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's definitely not legal in California.
Yeah.
But...
and I really liked going to this place because like they were so small. And also another thing I really liked was that like they didn't really make me feel bad. Like I've gone to several like nail salons where like I feel like they're talking about me or they're talking about my color choices, and I don't know why I care, but like I always want them to say they like my color choice. This place always says they do, and it means a lot. I'm like, thanks that I picked it, you know?
Yeah.
I did it myself. So I might go back. I really like how they did it where I went with Raul's mom. So maybe I'm not going to live in Eastville forever anyway.
Right.
So maybe this is, or maybe this is the push I need to like buy those like at-home gel kits. You know,
I tried that during the pandemic. It didn't work.
It's hard.
It's just like, it's very time consuming. Like, and you might have more because you're like into like DIY stuff. So you have more patience than I do.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience for it. Like I got one. Like I got one actually those at-home dip kits.
Yeah, see, I want to do
So I got those during the pandemic because I couldn't go get my nails done.
Yeah.
Everything was like closed or they were doing like that like shady like you had to like some of them were open but like you didn't know.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know and for a long time I wasn't comfortable going anyways. So I got one of those and I used it like once or twice, but it's just so time consuming and like very like I don't know, it's very like I'm losing my word right now, but it's a lot. It's just a lot.
I feel like that's the reason why I said at-home gel is because I think dip would be harder too because I think you do need that like equipment that like gel like shapes it.
Yeah, the drill.
Yeah, where like I think for gel you need it, but like before you actually put anything on, because then gel you just like it's like nail polish and then you like stick it in. Where dip, you definitely need to do it after.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd be able to.
I also like I don't know like I don't know. I also like if I did do at home gel, then I would definitely be like making my nails shorter because it's definitely I'm not gonna be able to keep my nails longer. Like right now, I haven't been getting my nails done because of Ramadan, and I cut my nails short, which is crazy for me because I always have my nails super long.
Okay, well that's a good segue into talking about Ramadan, which is what we want to talk about. But okay, so you don't have why don't you have your nails done for?
I don't know. Like, I just figured because I know that like it's like this big thing where it's like you're technically not supposed to have your nails done to pray namaz. So I just figured like since I'm going to be praying every day essentially that I should just not have them done. But
I feel like I think that's one of the rules where I know of that I'm still like
yeah, which is like usually I don't know why I decided this year all of a sudden because I normally have been to the mosque and I've prayed with my nails done.
Yeah.
But I just like I don't know. I just like decided this time.
Little break.
Also a little break, I guess, because I get my nails done like religiously every like 2 weeks. So I'm like, this is a good little like segue into like not getting it done. And then like sometimes I feel like when I give myself a break too, and I go back, my nails look better. Like it's almost like you give your like so.
Yeah, it needs some breathing room.
Yeah, and plus like the next time I would be getting my nails done would be like
before Italy.
Yeah, so then it would look fresh.
I feel like people that don't get their nails done don't understand the stress of having to schedule it to meet certain like
oh my
events.
Gosh, I actually was that's why I was actually texting you the day about one of the days we're supposed to record and it's on a Saturday and then I told you I was like I have to do it earlier and I said that because I had somewhere to go but I also have to get my nails done that day because of like that religious schedule that I'm on and so that's why I was like we have to record at this time because I need time to because I was gonna pre-book all my appointments with these people because that's what I like about this place. You can pre-book and they're very strict with it. So I was gonna pre-book mine leading up to Italy. So I was like,
is it an online too? So you don't have to call anyone?
They do have an online, but with what I get done, it's like confusing on there. So I usually just call in. But it's nice because they'll send you a text message of like when your appointments are.
Reminders.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because right now I was having a really difficult time because I really wanted it done yesterday because then in 2 weeks, which I like to push it to 3 weeks if I can, but in 2 weeks I'm leaving for Miami and Eid is going to happen, so I was like, okay, I want to definitely get it done before I go to Miami because I won't be back for a week, and then by the last week my nails will be looking like really like bad. Right. And now I'm thinking, okay, so then I'll do that. But then, like, leading up to, like, events like my bachelorette, bridal shower.
Yeah, you're, like, thinking, like, oh, my gosh, how am I going to... Yeah. So that's what was happening. That's why I was so nervous about that because, again, like, I need to get mine the last day possible I can before I leave for Italy because I'm going to be there for over, like, 15 days. Like, I'm going to be there for, like, 15, 16 days. So literally by the time I come back, my nails are gonna look terrible. So I need to get it like done right, like the last possible day I can get it done before I leave.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to schedule it out ahead of time because yeah. But it was like so for my wedding stuff, that was really hard too because my wedding stuff was a week apart. So you're gonna have to deal with that too. So you're like having to figure out. So I ended up just doing them twice, like even though they. Yeah.
I think acrylic is easy to do that quick too.
Yeah.
So I'll probably switch to acrylic and just like say sorry to my nails after. I think that one like they can easily just like take off, put the like saline stuff back on it, whatever it is, and like fix it every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very stressful.
Yeah. So Ramzan, also known as Ramadan, and then I feel like Arab people say Ramadan. And so I think actually South Asian people are the only ones that say Ramzan, and I think we're actually the furthest off.
Yeah. I get very, like, I actually get stressed when, like, I'm supposed to talk about it with someone because I don't know who calls it Ramzan and who doesn't. Like, even, like, South Asian people because, like, because the thing is, like, I don't know, again, like, I get stuck in my head because I feel like our family was so special with certain things we did that, like, other people didn't do those things. So I also always in my head think, like, was this just, like, a family thing?
Yeah, are we the only ones that call it Ramzan? Now I don't know.
So then I get, like, nervous. So then I'm always like, oh, my God, like, what do I, you know? And so, I don't know. I know Naveed, like, when I said Ramzan, like, he knew what I was saying. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's not. But then again, like...
He calls it Ramzan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know if, like, everyone does. I still get stuck in my head about that. So it depends on who I'm talking to. Like...
Yeah.
Like, when I'm talking to my, like, non-Desi friends or non-Muslim friends, I call it Ramadan.
Yeah, so I do that too. And, like, for a while I was doing that with Raul. I was calling it Ramadan. But then I feel like I've switched it because I'm like... No, you're gonna like be like joining our family, and I don't want you to be confused. So I'm gonna start you off with it now, so you like know what people are talking. He actually, while we were all hanging out and we were talking about Ramzan, he looked at me and he's like, Ramzan, and I was like, it's Ramadan, and he was like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, different word.
Yeah, and the thing is though, is it's definitely, I don't know where that comes from. That'd be very interesting. Like I don't think anyone would be able to give me a straight answer, but like what the origin of Ramzan is, because even when like our family texts us though, we're saying Ramadan.
I think it's because in Arabic it is spelled with the dal. I think it's the dal, and I think that one can be pronounced like a Z sound. And so when they translate it from the Arabic like actual script, it translates to in like our like English script of Ramadan.
Right.
But like if you were reading it, I think from like
Arabic,
Arabic,
like Ramazan.
I think it might be.
But we
Ramazan,
just say Ramazan.
but we're like lazy, like salicum.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's probably what happened. I think.
Yeah.
Some knowledge that I'm. It's the only knowledge.
Probably, yeah. Because in my head, I'm like, that makes sense because like thinking about like the Quran, like sometimes we'll say like
the D. It's like a Z.
Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to like think of what it's.
Yeah.
So you've been fasting every day?
Yes, I actually, the only one I missed was when I went with you for
my
your personal shopping. And I now thinking back to it, I'm like, I actually could have fasted because it's like we didn't even eat.
Yeah.
So.
I think it was more like having water and coffee because it was going to be a long day, and like without those two, I feel like it's just dreadful.
Yeah. So that was the only day, and then obviously right now, because for those of you who don't know, when you're on your period, you cannot fast.
Yeah, because you are unclean, is essentially what it is. You can't fast or pray, so like, it's really nice when you and your girlfriends are all on the same cycle because it's like, let's go, girls.
Yeah.
Let's go get brunch.
Well, I mean, for us too, because I don't really have any other friends that are Muslim.
Oh, that is very true.
So all my other friends are fine. I can hang out with them. Whatever. Mm-hmm. But,
do you have favorite Ramzan foods?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I definitely love dates, and I love samosas. Mm-hmm. I love fruit chop.
Yeah.
I like chole.
Yeah. You know, I never really liked halim before, but I actually really like halim now. And For those who don't know what halim is, it's like a stew, and I like the one without bones. So it's just like shredded like chicken or shredded beef, and then you just like put a bunch of like grilled onions and like lemon juice, and I feel like it tastes really good.
I actually do not like halim.
Yeah, I used to not, but now I'm like, dude, this is really good.
Your brother doesn't like halim either.
He does too. So we both are on the same.
Like you're starting to like.
Yeah, we're on the same path. We definitely agree it should not have any bones.
Yeah, because that's like.
I hate. Why do people put bones in things?
You know what? That's like the same thing that I feel about like when you're eating like pasta and the shrimp has the tail. Like, you just made it hard for people. Like, why didn't you just take the tail off? Like, I know it's probably supposed to be some sort of culinary, like, it looks better.
I like the flavor stains.
Yeah, but, like, it's annoying because now you have to put your hands in something that you normally wouldn't have to use your hands for.
Or if you, like, chop it off, you're, like, getting rid of, like, good, like, meat that's still inside the tail.
Exactly. So it's just very annoying. Like, I feel like that about a lot of things. Like, even, like, there's other soups and stuff, too, that have had, like...
The bones in there. I actually think also some people do eat the shrimp shells and the like tails, so maybe that's why they're like, you can decide.
Yeah. Oh God, I couldn't imagine eating the shell.
If you could only have one staple Ramadan food for the full month, though, so you can't pick all four, you have to just pick one.
That's really hard though, because they all like provide a different. Because the thing is, like, I love samosas, but I definitely couldn't just have that because it's, like, fried and I would feel, like, terrible. Mm-hmm. But then it's, like, I'm also not just going to have fruit the whole Ramadan. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's, like...
I guess, like, okay, so I guess, like you're going to have, like, obviously, like, you're going to have, like, your, like, rice and your chicken, and you're going to have your, like, whatever else main meal you have for your dinner. But you could only have either... You could pick a date... a samosa or fruit shot as your side.
That's also just makes sense though, because then you could argue that fruit shot can be a dessert.
No, but in this case it's not. In this case it's a side, and you have to pick one. This is the game, and you're avoiding.
Yeah, because it doesn't. I feel like okay, fine. I'm being my dad right now. My dad does.
Yeah, your dad does do this.
I think I would pick a samosa. Because I definitely don't have samosas outside of, like, I definitely have fruit and stuff outside of Ramadan. But I don't really have samosas outside of Ramadan, really. Yeah. Unless I'm at, like, a wedding. But even then, it's not those samosas. It's always, like, the little, like, potato ones, which are not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also probably pick a samosa.
Yeah.
Because, I think it makes the most sense. Like, you get the most out of it. Mm-hmm. You know, even though I do really, really like fruit shot.
And dates.
I'll have 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, there's like tiers of dates. Like, there's definitely like really crappy dates.
The small ones.
Yeah, the small ones. Or some of them are just dry.
Yes.
Like, you definitely have to get the ones that are like softer.
And bigger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's tiers. There's tiers
Chocolate
of dates.
covered dates?
Yeah. Or the ones that have like...
The nut in it. Yeah.
Like an almond.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about the seed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know,
how do I do that?
So I did those recently. You cut it, and then you open it, and you take out the seed, and you put the nut in. And because the date is so sticky, it kind of just sticks back to itself.
Oh, okay. Because I always feel like when I see them, they look like they were never opened.
I think also because it has that like outer like skin to it that like kind of like is like ruptured everywhere, so it all looks
or maybe they like cut the middle. Sorry. Maybe this is a date, guys. Maybe they cut that middle part and then they like take out that and then they put that in and they just kind of like close it up.
I think they can do that if the like, because you know sometimes it's like really sticky and it's hard to take out the seed too, but sometimes it just like pops out.
Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking about what I was doing right now.
Well, it's a good thing we're not a children's podcast.
I honestly was so into the date talk, I didn't even realize what I was doing.
I was like watching, that's why I was like, okay. And you kept going for a while. Even as I pointed out, you were still just like, no.
Well, I moved this away, and then I just was going like this.
Peck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And then I dipped them in chocolate after.
yum.
And it was good. But I think I'm going to get dark chocolate because I think it'd be better with dark chocolate.
Yeah, because I feel like the dates are really super sweet. So I feel like having the dark chocolate would give you that.
Yeah. Some bitterness
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so samosa's a good pick. I would pick a samosa too. I would not consider pakoras on my list.
Me neither.
I feel like it's just fried like dough. What is it?
No, well, there's different types. So there's like, some people make it with like, dal, I think. And then some people make it with like, I think like spinach or something like, cause remember you have like the green
Yeah.
stuff. So I think it's like,
Or do you think
no, it's like cilantro.
Yeah.
And then it's usually like dal or something, and they like
it's
fry
sometimes
it.
onions?
Yeah.
So maybe pakora is just like our word for saying like deep fried.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Pakoras are okay. Like Naveed's mom makes these ones that are like dal, but they call them something different in Bangla.
Oh.
But essentially it's kind of like a pakora, but it's really good. But she makes it with dal. It's like ground up dal, and then you put in like cilantro, green chilies, and onions.
I like
And
the
then you like
onions.
fry them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think onions are like pretty underrated.
Onions are amazing. They make everything. The thing is, anything that you cook, it always starts with onions and like garlic. So like that's like a staple in anything. So people that say that they don't like onions, I'm like, you're pretty much saying you don't like
Food.
anything, because
Yeah.
onions are in literally everything.
And like also like fried onions are typically what makes up like a curry. That's what makes it like not watery.
yeah, that like garlic, oil, and like tomatoes. So
And you
essentially,
have curry
like
and spices. Yeah.
yeah.
Do you remember Ramzan as kids and like what that felt like?
You know, we were just talking about that yesterday. Well, I was talking about that with Naveed's family, because the whole like, so when we were kids, okay, well, I guess we should also say like what Ramzan is for people that don't. I mean, I know like most people know what it is, but I don't know. I feel like there might be people that don't. So essentially, it's a month in the year that Muslims celebrate, and we fast for 29 to 31 days, depending on whoever you follow.
It's on the moon. People like look at the moon, and if the moon is at a certain angle or whatever, they're like it's the start or it's the end.
But like also nowadays, it gets confusing because there's people that obviously go with science, and we know when like the moon phases are, but some people are very particular about when they see it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it'll be off by like a day or two, depending on who, whatever. So so you fast from sun up to sundown. And fasting means no food or water, guys.
Yeah, there's no water. So like I know like in some cultures you fast, but you can still have water. In ours, it's like nothing.
Yeah, literally like nothing.
And if people go really extreme, some people don't even brush their teeth.
Yeah. So, yeah, you do it for 29 to like 30 days, and then at the end there's a big celebration called Eid, which is always fun.
Yes, which was more fun as a kid.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think will eventually be more fun again when we have kids.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But so that's Ramzan. So as kids, we've talked about like our families being particular about things.
Extra strict.
Yeah. And so as kids, I think like it was interesting. Like I feel like I would be excited leading up to it because it was like this like it was like this event kind of in the house, like in the way of like there was gonna be food every night and stuff, but then at the same time I knew what was like impending at the same time. Like, so our families didn't allow us to watch TV
Or listen
listen to music.
But our brothers got to watch sports and play video games.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And like I actually was like saying this, I think I got into argue like about this with like my dad or something a couple of years ago. My dad was like, "That's not the same thing," blah blah blah. And I'm like, "It is the same thing."
It's
because
worse.
during like the commercials, usually what are the commercials made of? Like probably like they're gearing towards the audience that's watching sports, so it's usually like beer commercials
Or like girls like.
Like back in the day, the Carl's Jr. ones with like the girls eating the freaking sandwiches in the car, right? Like Paris Hilton or something.
Disney Channel never had any of that stuff.
Yeah. So I thought that was really dumb. So like they would be allowed to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I think it also changed over time. Like with my mom, I know for sure, like in her household when she was growing up, like they didn't watch anything. Even like her dad wasn't allowed to watch anything on the TV.
Oh, so they changed the rules.
Yeah, so I feel like it changed. The rules changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I don't know with who, but it did change because my mom definitely I know her dad didn't watch. Like they actually would cover the TV.
Yeah, so so like my house, we had like a TV that was in like a chest, and like I remember my dad would like go up to it and be like, "Okay, it's Ramadan," and he would like dramatically like close it. And I was very different, I guess, than you. Like I was never excited for Ramadan. Like my parents would be excited, and I'd be so confused. I'd be like, "Why? We can't eat, we can't drink water, I can't watch TV, I can't like listen to music, you know?"
Yeah.
I actually remember the first time I listened to music, and I think it was the start of when I was like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna like listen to my parents anymore regarding this. But I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
That's how long it took for me to like, you know, grow some balls and be like, I'm gonna do it. And I did it because it was the fall of 2008, and so this was when Ramadan was in fall, and Taylor Swift released Love Story as her single for Fearless. And because I was like a fan from like her first album, I was super excited for this second album, and I was excited for this single. So I told myself, okay, I'm gonna just listen to the single so I know what it sounds like, and then I'll go back to it later. I listened to it and I was like, this is like genius. This is the best song in the whole wide world. It still is like probably the best song in the whole wide world. Like
so good.
It's so good. It's a story and it builds up. It's like slow. It's fast. It's just romantic. It's everything.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't stop.
You know what's like funny too is that like the fact that you had that whole thought process going into it, like that's like is like what was gonna happen. You know, like you make it seem like it's gonna be like the end of the world if you like listen to it.
Yeah. We just want to know, but
but I'm saying like it's funny because then as we got older we realized too that other people didn't do this. Like it was just our family. And I think that's what started getting really frustrating, like for me, because I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like no one else had this rule.
And I don't know if you did have this rule, but we also had the rule where on Fridays, up until like noontime or when like
you couldn't listen
one
to
of the
music
prayers
or watch TV.
Yeah,
that was like throughout the year. Yeah, I did have that. And so sometimes, like I know, like as I got older, I sometimes would like, I still followed that, and then I would feel like bad or something, like if I like listen to something or like on my way to work.
Yeah.
Like 'cause even now to this day,
I don't do it with my dad in the car.
Yeah, I actually think about it. Like when I am on my way to work on Fridays, I actually will stop for a second and be like, and then I like turn my music on. Anyways, but I always have this like thought in my head, like
Friday.
oh, it's Friday and it's like early.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. Yeah, if I go somewhere with my dad on a Friday morning, I won't have anything on.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right.
He's going to be so mad.
Right. Or like you can't listen to music like around Maghrib time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also in our households, we have like a prayer that goes on like 5 times a day. It's called the Azan. And you also need to like turn off the TV or mute it, or like mute your like sound or music if it comes on. And I still do that. There was a few times where like I didn't, and like I feel so bad.
Yeah.
But like if I'm in my room and I can like hear it faintly going on, sometimes I'll just be like,
it's not actually going on.
I don't hear anything.
I actually have this like weird, well, I think this is just, I don't know what it is actually, but like I don't like the TV on when it's like iftar time.
Oh.
Like it actually kind of bothers me. And I don't really know why. Like I don't know where that comes from. I think it's probably from like my years of conditioning.
Yeah.
But like even myself, because like again, that's not a thing like in Naveed's household.
Oh.
But like here when we're at home, I've like told him like I don't want the TV on.
Oh.
Because like just bothers me. Like I just feel like I don't know, like I especially if I've been fasting the whole day and I'm like, okay, like this is like the time now. This is the time I'm opening my fast. And it's like for me, I'm like it's sacred time. I finally get to eat. I just don't want the TV on.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't have it on when we're like eating, but while I'm preparing for dinner, I'll have my iPad open and I'll like watch something because I hate doing stuff without having something on. And I think the other day my brother actually turned on the TV for like sports or something. But like when we're eating, it's off.
Yeah.
I only had it on once when like I thought I was gonna be eating dinner alone, and then my brother like came in and he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna eat," and then I had to like close it. But like because I was by myself, I was like, "I'm not gonna sit in silence."
Yeah. I think because normally, I don't know if I would feel different about it if I was eating by myself, but like I think the fact that we sit down as like our little family of two, I'm just like, we don't need it on, just turn it on, sort of thing. And I think I would do that even like, I mean, getting outside of Ramadan talk, but like in general, as I get older, like, and if I have kids and stuff, if we eat dinner as family, like we don't have to have the TV on.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like it's like a special time to like sit down and eat together as a family, and like if the TV's on, everyone's just me watching the TV.
Yeah, I think as kids too, whenever we would eat dinner together, there was never the TV on.
Yeah.
I think the TV would only be on if there was like a Dolphins football game, because that was the only thing 3 out of 4 family members agreed on.
Right.
My seat was straight looking at my food. I did not care about Dan Marino and the Dolphins.
Yeah, it's very interesting how like it's interesting as you get older and you realize the stuff that's kind of stuck in a weird way, like even if it hasn't necessarily like stuck in like the actual behavior of doing things, but like your thoughts, like even though like I said, like on Fridays, it's not like I'm not going to listen to music, but I definitely think about it, you know? And it's just interesting that that's like, because it's conditioned that you just like still have it.
Does your dad or your mom know that you watch TV and listen to music in Ramadan now? Okay. Yeah, my dad knows too, because I'll have like stuff on my iPad. Like he'll see me while I'm like chopping up fruit, like I'm watching Gilmore Girls. Yeah. And like he doesn't say anything anymore. Because I think it'd be weird if he was like, "Hey, you can't watch TV." I would look at him and be like, "Okay, here's the electricity bill, sir. You can cover this."
No, they definitely know. My mom still doesn't. Oh. I don't know if I think she watches TV maybe. My mom was always the one that let us slide by a little bit. Yeah, so going back to us growing up, we weren't allowed to watch TV. And the worst part is when me and Fatima were like at a certain age where we were around each other like a lot, or like it was like during the time where it was falling around Halloween time.
It was fall.
Yeah.
So I think I was like probably in like 8th grade and you were like in 6th.
Yeah, and that's when Disney Channel would have all the good movies.
Yeah,
like
you would have Disney Channel Halloween movies are like
elite.
Yeah.
And so we would have like Halloween Town, and one year Twitches was coming out. We were like super excited about it. And so in the evenings, usually after you eat, so at sundown, like you have iftar, and then usually people will go and pray after at the mosque. And so for the most part, it's usually only men, but like I think your mom and Amma would go, right? And my mom would stay home with us. And so my mom, like, I think she knew we were super excited about it, that she, like, would let us watch it while they were all gone.
Yeah, so as soon as they would leave, we would, like, run for the remote control to turn on the TV. And, like, it was always, like, fearful when you would hear the, like, garage open.
Yeah, and my mom would be like, my mom would come and be like, turn it off. So my mom was always the one that kind of let us, like, get away with it a little bit, like, at that time. And I think it's just, she just knew we were really excited or something. So she was just like, whatever. But
so going back to when my dad had the like cabinet thing, that was as soon as I would hear the garage, because I would also like watch TV while they were all gone. I would have to like turn it off, put the remote control where it was, run to the cabinet and like yank it open, shut it, and then like run to my room as if I was never even there. And that was
scary, because it's like a whole process that you have to get done in a short amount of time.
Like, so like, probably like a lot of anxiety while I'm watching TV. Like, who are they here?
At this point, it's like, why did they do it? I feel like it caused more like anxiety than was worth it. Definitely, Twitch was worth it. But
it was. was
And I think one year it was during Halloween and we wanted to go trick or treating and my mom took us to Victoria Gardens. Do you remember that?
Was it during Ramadan?
I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember going. I didn't remember if it was.
I think it was during Ramadan because we went. It was late. I remember because like things were starting to kind of like close. There was like not a lot that were open. So I think it was during like the Tarawih time, which is usually like 8 or 9, and it was probably like a weekday. So
I also remember that trip feeling like old.
Yeah.
I think because I was in high school at that point, and I was like seeing all these other little kids running around. I was like, they're getting more candy than me. Why? Because they were cuter.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so I think my mom now she watches TV probably, I think. I don't know, I'm not like there with her. I think like last year she did. Or like...
Maybe like if you had it on.
Yeah, she would just watch it, yeah. But she definitely doesn't listen to music, I don't think. In the car.
Interesting.
Yeah.
As a kid though, one year, my dad really liked a song. I remember this. And I was like, oh, Dad, like, this is music. And he was like, oh, no, this is a naat. And a naat is a religious song. So, like, a song you would, like, sing at, like, a mosque. Or, like, kind of like, what do they call them when you go to church? And it's like a...
Yeah.
Just, like, a church song.
Yeah.
And...
like, worship song.
Yeah, so he told me it was one of those. And I was like, dude, this worship song slaps. I was like, yes, put it on repeat. And apparently it wasn't. And so my mom finally got mad and she's like, it's not. Stop listening to it.
He lied.
He lied because he wanted to listen to it too.
You know what though? I do have a Spotify playlist with certain numbers.
No.
Yeah, I do, but they're in English.
I hate those.
I actually like them. There's one guy that I like.
You do, yeah. You've always liked this guy.
And so I have him as a little Spotify playlist, and usually, because I only listen to it during Ramadan. I'll listen to it like the first day of Ramadan, and then I'm like, okay, did my thing, and then that's it. And then I just
so cheesy.
No, his are like really, they get stuck in my head. They're like so good.
I can see that they get stuck in your head, but like when you like listen to the lyrics, I feel like it just like makes me laugh. And that's probably not a good thing to say, but like, you know, he is so beautiful. And I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like essentially worship songs for church.
Yeah, it is.
That's literally what they are.
I know. It's very cheesy to me. But yeah, so we had it really difficult because no one else had to not...
No, I remember finding this out in high school because I would go to MSA.
And that's when we finally met like Muslim kids that weren't our family.
Yeah, and I think we brought that up and people were like, what?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
We looked like weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember finding that. Yeah, so that was really hard. I think as a kid, I think when I'm saying like as a kid, like being kind of excited, I think it was like when I was younger, like, and then as I got older, like that started to become more of like once I was like in middle school, high school, that's when it started annoying me because I was just like at this point, like I want my TV and like I want to do this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I think like when I was like elementary school and stuff, I think like when you're like little, you just get excited because your parents are excited, sort of thing. Like it was just like one of those things. And then as I got older, I was just like, ah.
Yeah, and like I do enjoy the like dinner part of it, like when everyone's together, and I love the like food. And again, like Eid is always like nice.
Yeah. And when we were kids, we used to do like secret holy stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so essentially we would do like a secret Santa, but we would do it with our families during Eid time, which was always like fun. I know you still do it with your family in Miami.
Yes.
But we did it over here, and that was always fun too.
Yeah, that was always fun. And Eid was basically like our Christmas, so like we would always get like a bunch of gifts. When we were kids, like we'd actually get like toys and stuff, and then like as we got like to like middle school, high school, it became money.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why I always was so happy to get money, because I don't think I ever remember like using my money. Like I don't, like, every time I would go to the mall, if my parents were there, it's not like I would take out my money.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely use, so this is another thing I actually talked about when I did my group at work. I do groups on Mondays and Fridays, and on Friday, I don't remember, one of my patients brought something up, and he was saying like, oh, he was saying like, oh, what? Because like I always start with like a check-in question, and my check-in question was like, oh, what's something that you would tell yourself now that you like? What's something that you wish you knew as a kid that like that you would tell yourself now, right? And so he was saying, like, I would tell my younger self to, like, save all that money that I got because I'd be really rich right now, right?
Yeah.
And so I started laughing, and I was like, yeah, like, I always think back to, like, high school and stuff. Like, me and my friends would go out to eat, like, twice a week. And in my head, I'm like, where was I getting that money from? Because, like, I was going to, like, Buffalo Wild Wings. I was going to Kabuki. And I'm like, these places are not, like, cheap. So where was I getting that money from? Like, I always think that in my head because I don't remember my parents, like, handing me. Like, I didn't have like an allowance or anything. So like I don't really know where I was getting that money from, but maybe it was from like saving from like the cash and stuff like that. And I know my parents would give me money here and there for like random stuff, and maybe I just had extra that I would use. But like in my head I'm like, damn, I was going out twice a week. Like where was I getting money from?
Yeah, and like it would have been like way like more useful. I actually think even like if I saved it like as a kid, I think like come college I would have used it.
Yeah,
because that was when 100%. I started buying more like clothes myself.
Yeah,
I was like buying things online. Yeah, makeup. Yeah, it would have gone. Yeah, definitely.
But like I'm thinking like that's probably what I was using my Eid money on was like going out with my friends and stuff.
Eating. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that was like really fun. Now we don't really get anything. Sometimes a mobile here and there.
I know. I think my like grandfather gives me money, but I feel like he gives me money for like just for like visiting him. Like he's in Miami, so every time I like go, so it's not even like eat. It's like if I go to Miami and like when I'm leaving, he'll be like, "Here you go," and he'll give me like $100 bill, and I'm like, "Thank you, sir." I was 29 the last time, and I'm like, "Thank you, I'll take it. I'll take this $100."
Yeah, I think now I like because like Amma will sometimes. Like, she doesn't do it now that I'm, like, married, which is sad. But anyways, like, I think about even, like, last year or the year before that, I would be like, I'm good. Like, I just, like, at this point, I feel, like, weird. Yeah. Because I'm just, like...
Yeah.
I'm, like, older and I, like, have a job. Like, you don't. Like, Mama's at home. Like, I'm like...
I know. I feel that way, too, when she gives, like, gifts. I feel like she always has, like, a Macy's bag in her house. And she's just, like, out of nowhere, like, she'll remember. She'll go back to her room and come out and she's like, take it. And it's, like, a bracelet.
Yeah.
Like, why did you get this?
Yeah.
For what? Just have.
I think she just likes buying stuff for people, too.
Yeah.
It's, like, her hobby.
She likes shopping.
Yeah.
That is her favorite. I think we asked her once, like, what her favorite hobby is, and she said shopping.
Yeah. And I was like, smart lady. That's why we all have this gene.
Yeah. Because people were thinking it was going to be cooking. Like, she likes cooking, but it's really, like,
I said shopping. I think we had, like, it was, like, a discussion.
Yeah.
And I think I said shopping. And, like, some people said cooking. I was like, I'm definitely not going to pick cooking. She's definitely going to pick, like, shopping.
She's good at cooking, but she likes shopping.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for Eid, nowadays, we don't get gifts. But what we do is we just get up, we get dressed. Usually the guys, you go to prayers in the morning. So I don't go to prayers in the morning, but, like, usually, like, my brother and my dad do. My mom never went. Even, like, when she, like, started going to, like, nighttime prayer, she never would go on Eid. Because she would always stay back and, like,
prepare,
like, brunch.
Yeah.
So you usually go, and you like it because you see, like, a lot of your friends and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think I started going more, like, I think my mom, like, when I was living with my mom, was when I started going more, or like when my mom was the one that decided she started wanting to go because she felt like it felt like Eid to go do something that was like different. So I started going with her, and then it started getting like exciting. Like when me and Naveed started like dating, it was just exciting because I would see him. Yeah, because he was always there. Yeah. So that's why like I was like down to go, and so it was like one of those things. Yeah. And then my mom would be with me, and then so I think it just became one of those things where it's like my mom first wanted to start going because she felt like it felt like Eid, and then as I started dating Naveed, I was like sure, because I get to see him on Eid. So then that's kind of how it happened.
Yeah. This year Eid is like falling on a Monday. Are you going to take it off?
I am taking it off, yeah.
Got it. And then is anyone doing... Because I'm going to Miami this Eid, so I won't be here, and I will be taking that Monday off. But, like, I think my whole family in Miami is going to take it off, too. And so, like, there's probably going to be a brunch and then, like, a dinner. And I think in between, like, me and my cousin are going to go, like, shopping or something. But, like, what are you guys doing anything the day of?
Well, I'm gonna go now that I'm married. It's like different. Like my first, I was actually telling Rita, I'm like, it's my first Eid that's gonna be very different because normally in the past, me and my mom would go to namaz in the morning, and then our like tradition is after after Eid prayer, we always go and get coffee somewhere together. Like that's just like our thing. And then usually it just depends on that day. Like I'll go see like Amma and my dad. It just kind of depends on like what's going on that day. Like I feel like it's been different every year. The last couple of years. Yeah. This year I'm going to namaz in the morning. I think my mom said she's still gonna come with us because my brother usually goes with my dad. Okay. So I don't know where my dad's going this year because in the past he would go to the San Bernardino Masjid, but I don't know if he's gonna go. I think he might go to Rancho this year, so we'll probably all go to the same place. Yeah. And then
he might even go to Haruba.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. And then I think we have a couple of places we have to go with like Naveed's parents that day. Oh. Yeah. And then the Saturday after we're doing something. I don't know what
like a brunch or a dinner or something.
I think it's like a brunch. It's very complicated. There's a lot of stuff going on with that one, so
I feel like I wish that like we were coming back, my brother and I were coming back from Miami earlier because that would have been like nice to like do both, like family with like Miami family and then also like do whatever here. I mean, I know like it always gets complicated when it's not at someone's house because like having to pick a place, it gets difficult. Also because when it's not at someone's house, you don't feel like you can like be there for an extended period of time. You can't like relax. So like driving somewhere far just for like an hour like of a lunch, it's kind of like I'd rather like sit like at someone's house.
So I think like that's why it was a little complicated this year because we all live kind of far from each other, so trying to find a place that was like middle ground for people.
Last year we went to our grandma's house and that was nice, right? Did we go there? I think we did. I wore purple.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Yeah. And see, that's what's different. Like, if we were doing it at someone's house, driving far is not a big deal. Because, like, again, you get to hang out and chill for a while. So it's not like, but driving far, like you said, just to, like, eat somewhere for an hour just feels like it's, it's a lot.
Yeah, and because you can't, like, once you, like, sit down, like, you can't really move around. So you're kind of just, like, in one spot.
Yeah.
And you're not really, like, talking to everyone.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think, but this year, I don't know, I guess we're doing a brunch. I think our oldest aunt, she's, like, in charge of finding a place, but I think she's, like, stressing about it. So she was, like, texting me and Fernaz about it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was just, like, trying to help her, but at the same time, I was telling her, I was like, we're definitely going to have to find a place that's big enough to accommodate everyone, because I was like, we have a lot of people.
It's, like, 22, I think.
Yeah, so I was like, if we find a place, we're going to have to call them ahead of time to see, and some places get complicated with that. They're going to be like, oh, well, you have to prefix this, or blah, 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 like, wherever we decide. So.
Yeah. Well, hopefully figures out. You have, like, 2 more weeks.
Yeah, so, but yeah, that's what's happening this year, and yeah, Ramadan this year has been fine, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I do like intermittent fasting, so like fasting for me hasn't been like difficult. It's like the no water and no coffee part that's been the worst. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty nice. You wake up for Siri.
I do. Yeah, I do. One day I didn't, and I regretted it, so I decided I need it.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Sari is basically the sun up part where you wake up when the sun is coming up. And that's like not at a normal hour where most people wake up. It's at an hour very early. So like right now it's like, 5 o'clock in the morning? Yeah.
Well, you have to stop eating at like 5:18 or something. So usually you need to be up by like 4:45. So you have enough time to like prepare something and eat it.
Yeah, so you need to wake up, you have to get up out of your bed, go to the kitchen, sit down and eat. So your mind is waking up and you're eating. And then if you go to work, you have to like either try to get back to sleep for the other hour or 2 hours that you might have, wake up then, and then get ready to go. And when you wake up again, you just can't eat or drink water.
Yeah, it's the roughest part, I think. And like some people don't, again, do it because it is rough, but My body definitely needs food in
Yeah.
a shorter amount of period of time, so
Yeah.
I like can't not do it. Like I tried I did one day. I was so tired that I was like, I'm just gonna wake up really quick, drink water, and go back to sleep.
Mhm.
And then halfway through the day, like less than halfway through the day, I was like hungry. So I was like, I can't do this. I have to get up and eat something.
I don't wake up, but that's also because I'm like used to it. But like I do know the feeling too, like when you haven't eaten for a while and you're not used to it, you feel sick. Like you feel like you want to throw up because like you just feel like all this like acid is building in your stomach. So like I can see how that happens, especially if you go cold turkey. Because like I started with like doing like 16 hours of a fast, so like 18 to 20 to like now I can do like a full day. But like going cold turkey from like not being used to it, yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, I'm not used to that at all. Like I definitely, because on a normal basis, I eat throughout the day, so it's like really, my body was getting used to eating during that like whatever window, right? Like technically, if we're thinking about it, intermittent fasting, it's like eating from like 7 until 5, right? Like that's like the window that we're eating in technically.
Yes.
So like my body got used to that. But then the fact that it was just like I only ate at that one time of 7, it became like almost like a 24-hour fast, and I could not do that. Like,
and that's also
like passing out.
Yeah, because even people that do like the 24-hour fast, like what holds them over are like water, coffee, chicken broth.
Yeah.
But like that's a lot.
Yeah. So I definitely could not do that. But so waking up for Sari is definitely a hard part, but I just keep telling myself, I'm like, this is temporary, so it's fine.
Yeah, it'll be over. Actually, we're more than halfway done, I think.
Yeah, I think yesterday was 16 or something, 17, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else Ramadan related?
No, I don't think so.
Cool, yeah, I think we've covered it all. We definitely want to hear what other people experienced growing up. If they experience the same stuff we experienced, if it was like, I don't want to say worse, but if it was worse, that'd be nice to know.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, I think as we get older, like, you kind of realize what was like, it's like one thing, it's like, okay, like, definitely, like, I'll fast, but like, why can't I watch TV? You know, like, I think there's these things where you just kind of start to realize, like, this is not really, like, a part of it, and we're gonna start to like definitely change the narrative a little bit as we get older.
Switch things up.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's nice chatting as always.
Yeah. Comment below, ask us questions, subscribe.
Yes, and let us know if you want us to talk about anything. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.